Alright guys, we are back with another wonderful episode, and this time we have another one about the Dutch, and more specifically, how the Dutch got their cycling paths, okay? So the channel is called Bicycle Dutch, and as always, the link to the original video will be in the description section down below. So, without further ado, let me check this out. We'll check this out together. I'm curious about this. How did they get their bicycle paths, right?
The Netherlands has the world's largest number of cyclists.
Yeah, they do. And you
But
know what? Their bikes are actually completely different than anybody else's. I did a reaction on that as well, so you should go check it out.
it is also the safest place in the world to cycle. That is largely because of the perfect cycling infrastructure that can be found throughout the country.
Right.
How did the Dutch get this network of high-quality cycle paths? Some think, including many Dutch themselves, that cycle paths have always been there. That is only partly true. Yes, there were some cycle paths, but they were of an entirely different type than today. Narrow, of poor surface, dangerous or even absent at junctions, and not connected. And cycle paths weren't really necessary.
So they're just driving all over the place? How do they know how they're not going to hit it, like run into each other?
Connected. And cycle paths weren't really necessary.
Wow, that's really coordinated.
Cyclists outnumbered other traffic by far. After World War II, everything changed. The Dutch had to rebuild their country, and they became incredibly wealthy. From 1948 to 1960, the average income got up by 44%, and by 1970, it was a staggering 222% more.
Oh wow. Let me go back to that. What was these numbers? 222%.
It was a staggering 220. To 1960, the average income got up by 44%.
Okay, 44%.
And by 1970, it was a staggering 222% more. People could now afford expensive goods, and from
that would probably explain Rotterdam, like the crazy like architecture.
1957 on especially, this led to many more cars in the streets. Streets of mostly old cities that were not built for cars. So buildings were demolished to make room for the car. Even some of the old cycling infrastructure was removed.
They're just knocking buildings down for cars.
to some.
There's places like that have, bicycle paths and stuff, but it's not everywhere at all. It's not a big common thing here at all.
Up what caused the changes in the Netherlands. There were the problems of cities that couldn't cope with the increasing traffic that led to demolitions and to a public outrage.
Yeah, and I was literally just saying earlier, like, how do they, I mean, everybody's zigzagging all over the place. How do they keep from running into each other? And evidently they didn't. They just ran into each other.
Over the amount of space handed over to motorized traffic. An intolerable number of traffic deaths that again led to mass public protests.
That's crazy.
An oil crisis.
I wish I understood what all those signs were saying, though, because I'm sure the message was pretty deep.
And an economic crisis that led to gas shortages and high prices of energy. The solution was found in the political will on a national and municipal level, with both decision makers and planners to deal with this situation by turning away from car-centric policies and making way for alternative transport, like cycling. Cycling is now an integral part of transport policies.
Yeah, and their bikes have
And what success did the protesters have?
their bikes have features that ours don't even have.
And what success did the protesters have? The child deaths went down from over 400 to 14 last year.
Nice.
This street got its cycle path.
Oh yeah. Well, good job, Netherlands.
This bridge didn't keep its cycle lane. Instead, it got a cycle path.
Alright.
This painted cycle lane became a permanent cycle path, and cars were totally banned from here.
Nice.
It is the now famous site of the I Amsterdam sign.
That'd be cool to go get that.
Earlier,
Go get that
also
picture.
a site of one of the mass protests. The protesters would have been a lot more comfortable lying down there today.
Oh, I'm sure.
The Netherlands' problems were and are not unique. Their solutions shouldn't be that either.
Well, there you go, guys. That is how Dutch got their cycle pass. That was awesome. So, anyways, I will see you in the next episode. Of course, you're going to be there because it's like I'm bringing you awesome content to watch and learn from that you probably wouldn't be able to, just go and randomly come across yourself. So, all right, awesome. You guys take care.